Hi, Neeti. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
How are you doing today?
Very well. It's a lovely morning out here,
Right.
and I can hear the twittering of birds around. So, just enjoying that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. So first of all, welcome to Bragfree Dialogues. And thank you for agreeing to do this. On behalf of all the co-founders, I just want to extend heartfelt thanks to you for agreeing to do
My
this.
pleasure.
So hi everyone. I think this is yet another session of Brag-Free Dialogues, and we welcome today our guest Neeti Kumar. I'll start off with a little bit of introduction for Neeti, and we'll get going from there. So Neeti Kumar is a learner who passionately works with the youth and leaders on their challenges and aspirations. In her current role as Vice President, People Enablers, she currently heads HR for ADA 24/7. She's an ICF certified leadership coach. Neeti is also a Rajyoga meditation practitioner, a professional writer, and believes in the power of thoughts and karma theory. She has pursued her BE from NSUT, and post her BE, she worked with DXC as software engineer and then moved on to do her MBA from XLRI Jamshedpur, where she was awarded the gold medal for her all-round performance. Neeti has worked with organizations such as Mercer, Baxter, Xceedance, ChainThat before she joined ADA 24/7. When she's not working or engaged with her daughter, she likes to write, sing, paint, or exercise. I'm Abhinandan here today from the Batch Free side. Neeti, let me hand it over to you for you to add some of the things that, in addition to what we just heard about you.
I think it was pretty well summed up, Abhinandan. And I am quite excited to hear from you all those questions you have regarding my
Right,
journey. I
right.
think it's going to be looking back for me as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I welcome you once more. Quickly, a little bit of, let's say, an introduction towards Badge Free. Badge Free is a talent market exchange, and we are crafting India's foremost distinctive human equity investment marketplace. We are looking at a platform that caters to the yearning needs of talent for and at work beyond learning and earning. So every leader of talent has a unique story to share on his or her journey, right, of experience and career. So we encapsulate these lessons in our series titled Brag-Free Dialogues with the hope and belief that it will encourage the next generation of leaders to unleash themselves to newer heights. On Brag-Free Dialogues, we invite special executive talents like Neeti for an online exchange session about how they started, their challenges, and their moments of truth, and more. Right. So today we have Neeti here, and Neeti, I think I'll get to some of the points that we or the themes that we had, but I think we'll keep it free flow so that we can hear your
Yes,
thoughts more,
yes.
right? And we'll keep it real. So thanks once again. Maybe if we could start off with the initial thoughts that you have about your overall journey, right? From you being in DXC till ADA 24/7, and how do you look at talent landscapes, right? Being in the head human resources position. Let's say a little bit about your journey and some thoughts about how do you feel badge free as a concept. So if you would like to,
Great.
yeah.
So, Abhinandan, can I call you as Abhi or Abhinandan?
Abhi
What?
is fine. Abhi is fine. Absolutely. Please.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So, Abhi, I would say that it has been a journey of self-discovery and a learning journey throughout for me.
Right.
And for me, what is the most important thing is to be a good human being. So, whether it is on a professional front or on a personal front,
Right.
I think that is what I seek from whatever I experience in life.
Right.
And that's what my corporate experience so far has also given to me.
Right.
Uh, with respect to batch free, I would say that it's a concept of tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think something, it's really a good time that you guys have started with it, and with the kind of gig economy that we are having, and the freedom which people nowadays seek. So they will be looking forward to such a platform with which they can engage. And you had shared the plans with me, the future vision also.
Right.
So that also would look quite appealing to them.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks. I think the self-discovery part, I think, was quite interesting. We'll hear more, right? But I think let me then bring up this thought that I was having, saying, there's always this thought process that those 9 seconds of glory, right? Let's say in an Olympic 100 meters sprint run, right? So the 9 seconds of glory is what we all are witness to, right? But there are so many milestones, challenges, and the story is much more than those 9 seconds of glory, right? So how were the initial years, right? And if you would like to share something as to how was your journey, but more importantly, the story behind the curtains of those 9 seconds glory.
Yeah, so I would say that there was a lot of search in the beginning
Hmm.
towards what is it that I really want to do. Because, since the beginning, this was quite clear in my mind that I want to work on something which I really enjoy.
Right.
And therefore, for me, the first thing was to actually keep figuring this out. So of
Hmm.
course, as an individual, you would like to be settled, you would like to be financially independent. So those are few things.
Right.
Even in Maslow's hierarchy, I think these come first. So you will I mean, I was also looking for some of those things.
Right.
And as in, as I got my engineering degree, I got my job, and I felt that, somewhere now I have a direction in my life.
Right.
Those things, those other more important things grew stronger in my life, that,
Hmm.
is this really what I want to do?
Right.
And it has been a lot of hidden trial, trying to really
Hmm.
understand that where is it that I should be.
Right.
And I would say that in the earlier part of my life, a lot of it was that, okay, I'm experiencing something, some work, but probably this is not what I want to do my entire life.
Right.
So, like an engineering, or working as an engineer at
Right.
DX, it was
Right.
something. It wasn't a bad experience. It was a good experience, but I thought that I'll not be able to do this throughout my life.
Right. Right.
So, and therefore, I ended up landing in XLRI. And that's when I realized that, no, I mean, this is the place where I should be. And then when I
Right.
reflected, all my life I've been interested in human behavior.
Hmm.
I've been interested in being a better person.
Right.
So,
Right.
and this was so closely linked to what I was doing in Accelerate and what my future looked like.
Right.
So,
Right.
I think that was the first, point of realization that, okay, from
Right.
a career perspective now, I think, I've got the space where I want to be.
Hmm.
And of course, like, being a student who was always quite focused on academics and was doing very well, I
Right.
always had the ambition to do very well in life,
Right.
no matter what I do.
True.
So I was certainly looking at leading or heading HR
Hmm.
somewhere.
Right.
from the beginning. But yes, the path to it is something which was more spontaneous.
Mhm.
As the journey went, I figured out, what are the things which are going to work for me, what are the things which will not work for me. So in
Right.
the entire process, I think I've been quite honest to myself
Right.
and invested a lot in my learning. So
Right.
those are
Right.
few things which have led me to where I am.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think it's interesting to hear how the transition happened from DXC to your to XLRI, and your realization about, that's where at least the domain in which you wanted to be, right? Because I think it takes a lot of us a much longer time to even fix our domain, and probably we could have become a specialist much earlier, right? Or at least identified. So I think that's definitely interesting. So I was just taking notes, right? So that I heard things like, it was a lot of hit and trial, right? And you definitely were looking for something that you would enjoy, and reflections, spontaneity, honesty. I think these are some of the things. But I think what's most important is, um, the some of these are not always well planned, right? So let's say, but we still maneuver through what's happening, and then all of those elements. So were there any of those kind of road not taken moments? I'm sure there was, because the transition was pretty much right from an engineering, which is a hardcore technical domain, to a people domain, right? And you took the decision quite early, right? So could you share some of those moments?
I would say that, considering that I figured out that I would like to be in HR. So the path to me for success was quite clear that, if someday I want to be like, really heading HR and all
Right,
that. So the
right,
standard path is that, you join a brand, you get a good um, you get a good exposure over there, you spend a long time over there, keep getting
right,
exposure and all. I think none of that happened with me.
right, right,
So
right.
in fact, if I look at it, a lot of it probably intentionally because of the values that I'm having.
Hmm.
I always prioritized learning
Hmm.
over anything. So my decision to join Mercer was more from the perspective that this will give me a good exposure, and not that I didn't. I didn't want to join probably some of the good companies, some of the companies which were considered really good in our campus, like an HUL
Right,
or PNG. Not that I didn't want to join them, but like during my internship time only, I realized that probably, I'm not made for these brands and they are not made for me.
right,
So, and then I thought that, learning is something which I really appreciate. So, a consulting domain is going to give me that learning. So, I think that was one thing which happened the way it had to happen. And after that, also, a lot of times, I've always gone by my experience of how I'm feeling about a
right,
particular thing.
right,
So, with the consulting thing also, like over a period of time, I just felt that well, as a consultant you do learn a lot of things, but I'm not getting the opportunity to really implement and
implement.
create a difference.
Right,
So then again, then I started looking for something with this thought in mind.
right.
So it is I think I've always been very honest to myself, and
Mm, mm,
for me, being a good human being is above everything. So I've
right,
always tried to prioritize that over anything that I've got.
right, right. So I think definitely very encouraging, right? Because what it boils down, and in fact, a couple of days back, I was having a conversation with one of my ex-colleagues around how personal values, right, are so important, and which at an accumulated level kind of builds an organization culture, right? So each of our individual values really influence you know allow us to take those decisions. So I definitely heard about prioritizing learning and being honest with what you really wanted to do. But I think I would not miss this opportunity to say that it was pretty bold decision to say that the big brands are not made for me and I'm not made for them, because you really found your purpose in doing something which is more hands-on, on the ground, and those kind of elements, right? So let me then go to a question saying, in your overall journey that we've heard, and definitely it's getting more and more exciting, but what would you really bring out as few accomplishments that you feel set you apart? I'm definitely sure it started pretty early in XLRI, being that you got awarded as with the gold medal for the all round performance. But what were those things, maybe once you started your professional journey, and what really did you take away from those? Because I think where I feel sometimes we all have these moments of glory or maybe setbacks, but we really don't take time to introspect. And what I'm hearing throughout what you're saying is you actually did a lot of reflection as you progressed right throughout your journey. So anything that you can share on those elements?
Yes, I would say that there are accomplishments, which the society considers as success. So probably getting a gold
Right.
medal was something which was like which was like externally visible for people that
Right.
okay, you got this. For me, what I would consider my biggest accomplishment, or probably something which the journey which I'm pursuing is about knowing myself,
Mm-hmm.
about focusing on who I am as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and not just focusing on getting or achieving things, but on being a human being, being in the present, enjoying what I'm having, doing different things. So I think learning meditation, and so I am a Rajyoga practitioner. I practice Rajyoga from Brahma Kumaris, and I think that has really helped me a lot. Because every day when there are so many challenges, especially if you're in a people related role,
That's
then
right.
that's what you are expected to do.
Yep.
So when you are amidst all those situations, then your gold medal is not going to help you. Your
Mm-hmm.
probably your technical knowledge will also not help you. What will
Right.
help you over there is a cool mind which can
Mm-hmm.
think,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I have got from meditation. So I
Wonderful.
think that is my biggest accomplishment, and I use it every day. I use it every time, like the powers which I get out of it. I use it every time of my day. So that I would
Yeah.
consider as my biggest accomplishment.
It's wonderful to hear. While on one side I hear you that some of the awards back in college or these kinds give us the maybe the opportunity or give us the confidence, right? But when we really go out there, it's much more than those knowledge that we gain, right? So it's more on the hands-on experience that takes you forward. But I think what's really interesting is that for the last 2 years, all of us have been talking about mental wellness, and wellness has become an industry on its own, right? With the hybrid work model and all of those. So I think it's definitely interesting to take that back, from someone like you. Very encouraging. So I think those things. So I keep telling this thing with my spouse, who's also an HR professional, that there are things that we do and we think we are happy, and there are the things which actually make us happy, right? So maybe binge watching something on Netflix is something what we think is giving us happiness. But maybe it's those cooking together at home, or just painting something with my son are the actual things that give us that stress buster or the happiness. So I think thanks for sharing that, right? So I think I interesting things, but I think let me all good things kind of have to come to an end, and that's how we keep the value afloat, right? So what do you think are, from your overall learnings or your journey, that you think if you're setting a few, I wouldn't say 10 commandments, but let's say few things that in hindsight that you think were elements that you learned, what would be those things that you would recommend or suggest for the next generation workforce, or anyone hearing or listening, viewing this video, as things that they should be doing or should not be doing? Uh,
I would say that really discovering who you are, and not just focusing on your body, because this body remains even when we say that someone is dead. So who you are. Okay, so
right.
focusing on that energy that you have, and the power of your thoughts is very important. So when we are young, by default, we have a lot of energy.
Hmm.
So it's us who have to decide how we want to use that energy
Right.
creatively. So I
Right.
think that's where we should consciously engage our mind to think that what are the things that I want to do today. What's the new thing which I want to do today, or what is it that
Right.
I want to learn today,
Right.
or how is it that I can keep feeling happy throughout the day. How
Right.
is it that I should not hurt somebody? So I mean, those are the things that if we keep our mind engaged with those
Hmm.
things, then we will not realize the kind of wealth that we have created for ourselves.
Right.
So that is one thing. Second thing, I would say that like probably few things which I realized, especially when you come out of good colleges and all, you feel that you're on the top of the world, and
Yeah.
when you enter the corporate, then everybody's there out there to listen to you and all, which does not happen. So
Right.
I think what is really important is for us to learn how to listen to others, how to understand, and how to not think that you know everything.
Right.
Because just like we're all human beings, we would
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
work with people who are there to understand us, who trust on us,
Right.
who will have faith on us, and who will agree with us
Right.
more than disagreeing with us.
Right.
But then it doesn't mean that you don't, if you have questions, you don't ask questions, you
Hmm.
seek clarifications.
Right.
But you seek with the intent to understand and not with the intent to challenge something. So
Hmm.
those are the few things that if as a person we carry in ourselves, then the other person feels very comfortable, and that's how, I mean, these are the things which you can really give to anybody to feel happy and to make others happy, and rest all happens on its own.
Right.
There are immense opportunities in this world, and there's a room, there's a space for everyone.
Great. I think I couldn't help taking some of the notes, right, so that I can actually relate these. I mean, go back to these myself. So I think one last question, Neeti. Sometimes what happens, we feel they say no knowledge is lost or no experience. Every experience is an experience, right? So anything that you felt, right, was maybe seemingly not related or not relevant at some point, but they really were helpful at some point, right? Through some situations, some real life scenario, right? Any thoughts on that? Any of those moments?
Yes, so I would say that keeping a diverse interest does help.
Mhm.
So while we are pursuing some goal, it's good to have a plan, it's good to work towards it, it's good to be focused. But at the
Right.
same time, it's also important to refresh yourself in
Mhm.
between, to look at life how it is, and to look at some other opportunities also which life is giving you. So like I like writing, I like
Mhm.
I practice harmonium, and I also like drawing, painting. So I
Mhm.
think those are few things which are not a part of any curriculum or
Right.
anything, but just out of interest or the zeal to experience these things, I started
Right.
doing it.
Right.
And it does help me in a lot of ways, because these are not the things which I'm very good at,
Mhm.
but that gives me the feeling of what it feels like to be a starter in life,
True.
that keeps that awareness in me. So when I'm talking
Right.
to somebody who doesn't who's probably new in my team and all, I can still relate to them. And it also helps you in so many ways, because HR is such a diverse field to be in,
Right.
and we need a lot of creativity. So it just helps me use art and blend science
Right.
and appreciate people who are diverse.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, it does help you, it expands your boundaries.
Wonderful. I think that was I think again, we saved the best for the last, right? So I'm glad that I kept that question as the last one. But I think I just took note saying, be a starter always in life in some things or the other, right? Just to refer back. But I think amazing thought. I think very few people could actually, think like that. Um, and then that's how I think you relate to the next generation workforce. And I think with that, any closing comments that you want to leave us with or our viewers with while we are at the end of today's Bragfree Dialogues.
So I'll like to wish you all the best. You have a great vision, and I wish a lot of luck to you
Thank you.
to really achieve that. And to the viewers, have a great day ahead. Enjoy yourself, and do take some time to really see who you are.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks, Neeti. Really appreciate you doing this for us. And all the best for all that you're doing, for all the great work that you're doing. Uh, Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you.